in this land blighted by totally avoidable poverty, it closed. It had never meant anything to me, but I was still sad to see a pub close in my local community, and so I was pleased when, walking the dog one day not long afterwards, I spotted a new bright blue sign on the front. On it was a symbol which looked like a very obese blue seagull plummeting to earth. Brilliant, I thought. Some Brighton Beer Monster fans are opening a new small independent brew pub in Southwick, the Fat Blue Seagull Brewery maybe. But when I got nearer, I saw that round the Fat Blue Seagull were the words, Redeemed Christian Church of God, Kingdom Life Assembly, Achievers Centre. Bloody hell, I said to myself, the Pilot wasn't much of a pub, but even it didn't deserve that. Taken over by a religious sect. A pretty hardcore one too. Among the list of activities on the board, 4-hour night vigil, 10 PM to 2 AM every second Friday of the month. Now there's the way to show the locals a good time on a Friday night. Although on reflection, I did think that 4 hours spent at the Pilot under this new management would probably be preferable to a similar amount of time spent there in the old days. It'll last 5 minutes, I thought, as I wandered past. Congregation of 0. It's true that Southwick has a long-established ecumenical scene. My wife and mother, both big players back in the day. But I doubt that they'll have much to do with a weird sect based in a dodgy pub on what is for many of them quite literally the other side of the tracks. If it's lucky, the Redeemed Christian Church of God will be noticed sufficiently for a few local kids to spray some inaccurately drawn male genitalia on its front door. But then the place opened, and one Sunday, walking the dog, I met them, definitely making an impact in our still more or less monocultural coastal village. Loads of young black men and women, immaculately dressed in Sunday best, walking confidently down Southwick Street, wandering around Southwick Shopping Centre, smiling broadly, handing out leaflets. The congregation of a church founded in Nigeria with branches all over England and now one in Southwick. I took a leaflet. Welcome to Southwick, I said, though don't try converting me because I'm a Marxist-Leninist. I thought of the irony. Hey, Dr. Livingston, what goes around comes around. How are you getting on? I asked. Natives friendly? Okay, they said, but a few weeks later they'd gone. Moved to an estate in Fishersgate, a mile away. Maybe it was me. Southwick? No chance. Hotbed of Marxism-Leninism. Anyway, there are missionaries in Fishersgate now. It's one of the most deprived areas in the country. It needs help. Personally, I don't think it needs the Redeemed Christian Church of God any more than Africa needed Dr. Livingston. But maybe they'll do some good. And at the very least, they should find it a bit less dangerous than he did, because to the best of my knowledge, in Fishersgate they don't have cannibals, just cannabis. Thank you. Right, I should do a few more before I hand over to Patrick. I'm doing songs in the first set, just to let you know. We're going to do 2 sets each. So I'm going to do half an hour, then Patrick half an hour, then we'll have a break for everyone to get some beer and go for a piss, and then we'll do the same thing again with different stuff, obviously. So I think I'll do, I'll do this one now. This is a quite an old one. I co-wrote this with Black Sabbath, although they're unaware of the fact. It's about all those rappers who constantly go on about how many guns they've got, how big their knobs are, how much they hate women and each other, and what a really, really tough part of the country they come from. It's called the Iron Men of Rap, and naturally it's set to the immortal backbeat of Iron Man by Black Sabbath. Which of course is another of Patrick's favourites. He's not a born-again Christian. As I say, he sold his soul to Satan. I think he cost about 94p, something like that.
Yeah. 93.
Anyway. You're the Iron Man rappers with your big gold chains. You talk about the clavers, but you don't use your brains. The Grandmaster's message made me hold my breath, but now I'd rather listen to Lawnmower Death. You rap about your gold and you rap about your car. You rap about what good rappers you are. You rap about your guns and the money you make and the size of your one-eyed trouser snake. You say it's bigger than the Albert Hall, but I bet it's like an earthworm, very, very small. You say it's bigger than the Albert Hall, but I bet it's like a maggot, or you ain't got one at all. You run on stage with your guns in a rage like angry prisoners fresh out of the cage. Your fingers on the trigger and you want to engage, turning on the chill in the new ice age, and there's violence in the air, but some of you like it, you don't seem to care, and there's violence in the air, but some of you like it, you don't seem to care. No, I don't know the dollar and I don't know the gun and the rapping they come in, don't bother me none. I want to rap fast and I want to have fun, and I mean have fun, not shoot someone with your massive testicles and concrete cock, gonna bust a gun in every time you rock. Every move in your body is designed to shock. So yo there, Shabba boy, how's your flock? Now I don't want to hear about segregation, don't want to hear about your perfect nation, don't want to hear about Farrakhan, because Farrakhan is an evil man. So hey everybody, let's make a show, because if Farrakhan gets you, you're going to go from the hair on my head to my hairy scroll. I'm out of the bottle, I'm ready to blow. The rap I rap is black and white, this rap says unionised, don't fight. This rap doesn't wallow in liberal guilt, it just says equal, up to the hill. This rap's got a penis of average size, not a huge great whale flopping out of its flies. No gold, no chains, no hype, no lies, just a thinking brain and a pair of sharp eyes. So wise up rappers, and before you spell, find something original to rap about. I've had my say, now it's over and out from MC Attila, the poetry touted, MC Attila, the poetry touted, MC Attila, the poetry touted, MC Attila. Signing out, cheers. Spontaneous, actually. That just happened. It started to froth, I mean, for no reason. That's it is nevertheless a waste of good beer. Well, I'm going to do one more and then hand over to Patrick, who will do his first set. And with great pleasure, obviously I played some, I'm sure some of you saw the gig with my band Barnstormer at the end of last year. That we did around the corner, but it's not that often that I do a gig doing my poetry in Amsterdam, so I really do have to do this poem, because it's called Southwick, which I've already talked about, it's where we live. Southwick is like Amsterdam. Southwick is like Amsterdam, only smaller and quieter. There aren't any prostitutes or sex shops. New Model Army have never played here. Very few people use illicit substances, and no one commits adultery. Southwick is like Amsterdam, except that when you walk through the square, the people who ask you for money have perms instead of dreadlocks. Crack is something found in the pavements that the nice Ada Council workmen missed. Heroin is strictly an amateur dramatic role, and pavement is a pavement, not a culturally successful American grunge band. Score is something Southwick Football Club do from time to time. Gay means light-hearted or merry, and dope is someone who has left their bus pass at home. Terry and Jude have always lived in Southwick. Richard Bryars thinks it's very nice. Monty Python visit occasionally. The Levellers' new CD was spotted on sale in Woolworths once, before it became a Chinese supermarket. And all the poets and socialists were turned back at home, except us. I guess we slipped through the net. Southwick is like Amsterdam, except the power station only has one chimney, the second amputated, along with its body, in a very radical architectural mastectomy. And there's only one canal, but it does have rats though. You can see them scurrying around the jetties at dusk, which is lovely. And it's full of mullet in the summer, and quite a lot of flatfish too, which, for a lover of flatfish like myself, constitutes a ray of hope, since it's actually rather a brill and soulful place to write poetry. Sorry, these are all flatfish puns, I mean. And there's a towpath where you can skate too, if you're a dab hand at it, but be careful not to flounder over the edge, because the water is rather foul, and in October there's often nearly as much scum on its surface as there is at the Brighton Centre, just along the road, attending the Conservative Party conference. Southwick is like Amsterdam. Okay, Anne Frank didn't live here, and there aren't as many bicycles, and the Heineken's a lot weaker, and Ajax would be a little out of place in the Sussex County League, but we've got a lot more flatfish, and where there are flatfish, there's poetry. Thank you.